Hello, YouTube! So, today we're gonna go over everything I read in the month of February. I actually had quite a lot of reads, so let's get into those. Okay, so I had seven books that I read in February. So one I was already at the very end of, and then all the rest were pretty much audiobooks, and those are really easy to get through. First up, I have When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This one has the beautiful sprayed edges. This one is a little fantasy and it has dragons in it. So I will say the world building was a little bit much for me. It has a glossary, so it explains a lot about the world that you need to know. I would say you don't necessarily need to read the glossary. A lot of it you get with context clues, you can figure out what the word means, but it was very helpful to me. But also it was kind of a lot to think about. I haven't read that complex of a fantasy yet. This isn't crazy complex, but it's also not the easiest thing to understand. But I think I will continue. I don't know. I know there's another book coming out. I don't know if it's going to be a duology or a whole series, but I am willing to give the next book a read. Okay, next up we have Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This one I got as a Book of the Month add-on. So this one I've been wanting to read. It just sounded very mysterious. I was intrigued to know what it was about. It's a sci-fi psychological thriller, and I binged this in one day. If that tells you anything about how I feel about this, I literally could not put it down. Got the audiobook first thing in the morning and then finished it by the end of the day. So I did give this 5 stars. I think it's best to go in blind and then kind of figure it out with the main character. And then this also does have a Apple TV show, so I would like to watch that as well. Okay, next up we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So I have been wanting to read this for a while, but it has been several months wait on Libby. But I finally got it, and I binged it as well. I think this took me 2 days to audiobook, and I really enjoyed it. It was definitely easy to read because it is a YA, and I didn't see the ending coming. Now I get to watch the Netflix show, so I'm really excited about that. I gave this one a 4 stars. It just didn't have that 5-star feeling, unfortunately, but I really liked it. Next up we have The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. This one has the foiled little leaves on it, so I thought that was really cute. I didn't really have much thoughts on this, to be honest. It was a very light and easy read, so I really enjoyed that, especially with my 2 back-to-back thrillers. Yeah, it was a nice little break, but nothing special to me. I think I will continue the series just because it's a really cute premise, really cute little city, little town, but it wasn't blowing my mind. And then we have Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. This is the second book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. This one I think was a little bit more intense than the first one, at least towards the ending. I was not really expecting what happened. I think I liked the first one better, but this one was still very enjoyable. Next we have Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. This one I didn't have on my TBR. I found it in my mailroom. and it's like in perfect condition. So I did give it a read, and wow, I did not expect, actually I did, I take that back, I did guess like half the plot twist, but then like the other half I was like, what? So I like half guessed it, but there was still more to what I guessed, if that makes sense. So this one is basically a woman loses her daughter, like she goes missing. 10 years after her daughter disappears, she meets this guy and starts dating him, and then when she meets his daughter, she's like, that looks exactly like my daughter that went missing. She's like, what is going on here? She wants to like know what happened to her daughter. She was kind of like finally getting past like accepting that her daughter's gone and she doesn't really know what happened, but then seeing someone who looks exactly like her, she kind of wants to figure out what happened. The twist is a little weird. It's a little unusual, but I kind of guessed it as well, so I guess it's not that crazy. Okay, my last book that I read in February is The Dead Guy Next Door by Lucy Score. I have finally finished this. It's taken me so long. I started this in like September and I finished it finally. But this was like my like nighttime book, so I would only read like a chapter before bed. So that's kind of why it took me so long. At first, I wasn't really sure about it. I was like, I kind of don't want to read this. But as I got farther into it, I started to like it more and more. And I'm actually really excited to read the rest of the series. I gave this one a 4 stars. Our main character, Riley Thorne, she kind of has psychic abilities, and she basically sees her next door neighbor get killed in a dream. Then a private investigator shows up at her door and is curious about the man who was killed. So they kind of work together to figure out who did it. It was very, very interesting. Okay, so moving on, I will show you my physical TBR. So the first one we have is The Corpse in the Closet by Lucy Score. This is the second book in the Riley Thorne series. Okay, and then after Corpse in the Closet then is The Blast from the Past. This one got it all started because I found it in my mailroom and I was like, oh, this looks so cute. And then I saw it said a Riley Thorne novel. I was like, oh, it's a series. It was the third book in the series, so I couldn't read it. I had to buy the first 2. So that's what I did. So I have not yet gotten to this one. Then we have House of Glass by Sarah Pekkanen. This one, I honestly don't remember what it's about, but it was a book of the month from July. But I'm just waiting on the audiobook and then I can read it. Okay, I think instead of just going through all of them, I'm just going to show you the new ones because it's going to be the same thing every month. So now I'm going to show you any new books I have on my physical TBR. I believe I have 4 new ones that you guys have not seen, so I'm going to show you those. Okay, first we have my book of the month for February, and it is First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. So this one is like so gorgeous. First of all, like it just screams like Valentine's. So this is actually going to be like a little interconnected series, I believe, called Heartstrings. And I haven't read BK Borson, but I know they have like a couple like really popular ones. So I guess it's like a hotline, like a romance hotline. Okay, and then we have 3 in the same series. These are some special editions I got. So we have Magnolia Parks. Look how gorgeous. So it's a cloth bound hardcover, and then like it has gold foiling, and then it has one of the little bookmarks in it as well. Has a quote on the back. Obviously I don't know what it means because I haven't read the book, but I know this is a lot of people's favorite series, and they say it reminds them of Gossip Girl, and I love me some Gossip Girl. So I decided that I would go ahead and get myself the special editions. When they first were up for pre-order, I didn't get them right away because it wasn't in the budget, but I recently went back on the website and they were still available, so I did treat myself, and I'm so happy that they were available, and they're just so gorgeous. So we have Magnolia Parks, and then these are all of the Magnolia Parks ones, so they don't have any Daisy Hates yet, but once the 3rd Daisy Hates book comes out, she will do all of the Daisy Hates books in covers similar to these. So then we have Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home. This one is a brown, a little tan brown cloth bound with a little blue bookmark. Again, quote on the back. The last one, this is a brick. This thing is huge. This is Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. It's absolutely massive. I'm really excited to read these. Unfortunately, the Into the Dark and The Long Way Home are gonna have to wait a little bit. But as soon as I get the audiobook for Magnolia Parks, I will read it. But then I have to wait until the Daisy Hates ones comes out so I can read those cloth bound ones, because I want them all to match. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.